现在可以试。
好的，试一下。
好，
这个不能试。这个不能啊。
嗯，
等一下，等一下，再试一下，
好的，
有什么问题呀？
没有看到 PPT。
等一下，等一下，再，
好，
哎，是不是不能进去那里呀？Screen，不行啊！
嗯，没有看到 PPT。
等一下，快到时间了。
没事。
Screen set。哎，这不行啊！
你可以再试一下，如果不行的话，现在看到
进了不能那里。
不能进 PPT 是吗？你 PPT 已经给 Lucius 了吗？
给了，
那我们替你投，
可以，
我们来放，你来讲，可以吗？
可以，可以。
好的，好，
但是
那就
如果要做 PPT，这个更好。
嗯，
我再试一下。
好，再试一下。
那不行啊！对不起。
可以了，可以了。
可以吗？ 好好好
好的，
好好
好的，好的，谢谢。
好的好的，不用谢，到时候有什么问题再说。
好的。
好好。 นั่งก็เลยโอ้ยวนนั่งตั้งคักๆเลือกแบบนึงพอจีนั่นล่ะอีเส้นล่ะhier oder oder nur das na nur das mum Isso, não faz não.
Dear participants, ladies and gentlemen, we will start a country report session in 4 minutes.
苏北勾勒出情话，笔锋浓转淡，平生描绘的牡丹，一如你初妆。冉冉檀香渡过窗，心事我了然。宣纸上走笔，只此各一半。釉色渲染，仕女图，韵味被私藏。而你嫣然的一笑，如含苞待放。你的美一缕飘散，去到我去不了的地方。天青色等烟雨，而我在等你。炊烟袅袅升起，隔江千万里。在平地书看你放前朝的飘逸，就当我为遇见你伏笔。天青色等烟雨，而我在等你。月色被打捞起，晕开了结局。如传世的情话，字字故字美丽，眉眼的笑意。色白花青的锦衣，月染玉碗底，临摹松贴落款时，却惦记着你。你隐藏在窑小里千年的秘密，细细你犹如绣花针落地。帘外芭蕉惹骤雨，门环惹童女。我路过那江南小镇的等你，在泼墨山水画里，你从墨色深处被隐去。天青色等烟雨，而我在等你。炊烟袅袅升起，隔江千万里。在平地书看你放前朝的飘逸，就当我为遇见你伏笔。天青色等烟雨，而我在等你。月色被打捞起，晕开了结局。如传世的情话，字字故字美丽，眉眼的笑意。天青色等烟雨，而我在等你。炊烟袅袅升起，隔江千万里。在平地书刻你放前朝的飘逸，就当我为遇见你伏笔。天青色等烟雨，而我在等你。月色被打捞起，晕开了结局。如传世的情话，字字故字美丽，眉眼的笑意。
Hello.
Recording in progress.
Hello, everyone. I think it's time for us to get started. Welcome back to this session. And in this session, as we've already been doing it, we will be making country report presentations to show the situation of your country, the hydropower and the dam, to the participants from other countries. We believe this is we want to create this forum for all the participants to learn more about the situation of other countries and explore potential opportunities for cooperation. We do believe it's a great opportunity for us to, expand our own knowledge and to learn and to, share and try to find more opportunities for us to cooperate. And today we also have Ms. Shi Jing, Director of Foreign Affairs and Training from HRC with us. And
Hello, everyone.
welcome, Ms. Shi. And then today, the order for the country report is Indonesia, Iraq, Laos PDR, Mauritius, Myanmar, Rwanda, and Sri Lanka. And we have already finished the Philippines and Singapore. And then now we can start the first presentation from Indonesia. As Mr. Seto has a conflict with other conference, he has recorded his country report, and we will play it for him. And after the video playing, if any of you have any question, all the other participants from Indonesia will take your question. So we will start our first country report from Indonesia.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for having me. Allow me to present my country report. My name is Setong, as representative participant from Indonesia, and thank you for HRC for training course on dam and hydropower sustainable development. Let me start to introduction. This is my national flag of Indonesia, namely is Sangsaka Merah Putih. The red and white symbolism can trace its origin to older common Austronesian mythology of duality of Mother Earth in the red color and Father Sky in the white color. And in the middle figure, this one is national emblem of Indonesia, how eagle, namely is Pancasila. There have 5 of principles. The first principle is belief in a one supreme God. The second is just and civilized humanity. The third, the unity of Indonesia. The fourth is democracy. And the fifth is social justice for the entire people of Indonesia. And also, I would like to introduce everyone that this one is my president of Republic of Indonesia. His name is Joko Widodo since 2014 until now. And our language is Bahasa, and the currency of Indonesia is rupiah. The next slide is talking about geography of Indonesia. The territory of Indonesia. Indonesia is the largest archipelago in the world. It consists of 5 major islands and about 30 smaller groups. As we can see in the figure that this is the 5 big island of Indonesia. One is Sumatra, second is Java, the third is Kalimantan, the fourth is Sulawesi, and Papua. The total of number of the island is estimated to be 17,508. The sea area of Indonesia is about 7.9 million square kilometers, is around 81% of total area of the country, and is 4 times its land area. And the next is population. As the 4th most populous country in the world, the population of Indonesia in 2014 was estimated to be 245 million. This equated to a population density of 123.76 people per square kilometer. Is about 58% of Indonesian population lives on island of Java, which make it most populous island in the world. Approximately 719 individual languages are listed in Indonesia, of which 13 are extinct. One Sumatra comprises about 35 tribes or ethnicities. Java comprises 9 ethnicities and Sulawesi comprises 113 ethnicities. This is the economic strategy of Indonesia. The strategy of Indonesia is out of middle income trap. As we can see the projections of gross national income to this figure uh, that start from 2021 to 2045. Uh, the goal is high income threshold is up to 12,695 dollar per capita. Also, according to this chart, Indonesia has a vision to increase the statement of change in equity by business pattern transformation, and Indonesia must be able to out of middle income trap before 2045. There are 6 main strategies for economic transformation. One is human source development. The second is increased economic productivity, national capital relocation, digital transformation, domestic economic integration, and the last is green economic and low carbon. The economic and low carbon is the one strategies initiated by Joko Widodo president to realize the economic transformation in middle to long-term period framework by low carbon development. For the next slide, this is a renewable energy development in Indonesia in the year of 2020 to 2024. Um, of course, Indonesia has a target in the next year, but we should know the major indicator in energy sector. The indicator is the portion of renewable energy in national mix energy and the capacity of installed renewable energy generator, biofuel utilization for domestic, primary energy intensity, the final dropped energy intensity, and the domestic component level of renewable energy generator. From the target from previous year, Indonesia to the overall target of Indonesia is grow up to 8 to 10% for the renewable energy. Related to the target of Indonesia to increase 10% from the previous year, Indonesia has optimistic that the target will be achieved in 2023 because of the potency of renewable energy in Indonesia. As we can see, the renewable energy potency in Indonesia is from wind, the installed generator was only 11.15 gigawatt. Renewable energy was dominated by geothermal generators and hydropower, as we can see in the bar chart. This is a renewable energy utilization in Indonesia. In the previous year, 2021, the target of Indonesia for the renewable energy is 11,357, and the realizations is only 11,152. It means 200 megawatt is not achieved. And also for this year, for 2022, it means current year is 11,791. This part is talking about the renewable energy target of Indonesia in 2023. And the output major project in 2023 is renewable energy generator constructions up to 2 gigawatt and 165 units of solar energy constructions, and also operation and management improvement. One is miscellaneous renewable energy development by develop the hydropower energy, solar energy, wind energy, innovation and research development. And the second is bioenergy development by increase the bioenergy construction, green fuel construction, waste management construction. And the third is geothermal development. One is geothermal generator construction and provide the thermal data of improvement. And the last is energy conservation by provide the regulation improvement. This is the potential mapping of the solar and hydropower. Characteristically, in Indonesia, there are 67% of dams are embankment dams. This large dams type is widely produced in Indonesia due to the ease finding raw materials for hoarding cost and resistance to tectonic symptoms. The average height of large dams in Indonesia is 31 meters with an average storage capacity of 113 million cubic meters. The height of the dams affects the area of the irrigation surface. The area of irrigation of large dam is 7,258 hectares. The criteria for large dams in Indonesia refer to the criteria for International Conference on Large Dams and the regulations of the Minister of Public Works and Public Housing number 27 of 2015 about dams in Indonesia, and there are 216 registered dams in 2018 data. The strategic issue in dam operation and maintenance in Indonesia. Several issues in need of anticipation as indicated below. Talking about strengthening dam management units and national dam safety assurance institutions taking account of the new statutory framework. The second is developing national expertise in dam engineering and management, how to improve of dam remedial works design and construction quality assurance, expansions of dam safety assurance to privately owned dams and mine tailings dams, reducing deferred maintenance due to inadequate operational and management budgets, how to resolutions of hydrology and design flood issues, how to implementation of emergency action plans, how to reducing of reservoir sedimentation damage risks, and how to make dam portfolio assessment for remedial works and operation and management budget prioritization. From that issues, there is thus a need to formulate and prepare a new project for dam operational improvement and safety to address the above of the cases. For the last session is the conclusion. Indonesia has a vision for economic transformation to out of the middle income trap. Acceleration in the infrastructure sector will be focused on renewable energy to increase domestic income through subsidies in the energy sector. Indonesia has strategy to improve energy potency in the middle to long-term period. The target of renewable energy to be constructed in 2023 is around 2 gigawatt. Improvement in dam regulation and policy is still needed. Thank you for your attention. I'm so sorry if I have a mistake when I speak, and see you next time. Don't hesitate to contact us if you have any questions. Bye.
Yeah. Thank you.
Mm.
So, although he is
Thank you
not
so much.
here, and other participants from Indonesia, if you have anything to add, please feel free to add. And then it's great to know that hydropower is an important part of renewable energy mix in Indonesia, and that hydropower is under the national plan to be further developed. And then we've also learned that policies related to dam and renewable energy is still needed. And I think there is still potential for us to cooperate. And yeah, for other participants from Indonesia, if you have anything to add, feel free to speak. And for other participants, if you have any question, please feel free to raise it in the chat box or just speak out.
Hello. Thanks for the informative and professional presentation. I found some issues quite interesting. So during your presentation, you mentioned you proposed a new project to focus on the dam issues in Indonesia. Actually, my question is about if we propose an international cooperative project on dam safety cooperation between China and Indonesia. So who could be the partner, who could be the implementer on behalf of Indonesia side for this kind of project? So I mean, for example, if we would like to set up a cooperative project, here from us, so for Chinese organization, we have Dam Safety Management Center, we have HRC, and for your side, for Indonesia side, so with whom we can sign the project cooperative agreement like this, and who will be the project implementer jointly with Chinese organizations.
Seto, do you want to answer the question? I see you are on the line.
So is my question clear?
Yeah, and other participants from Indonesia, if you want to answer the question, please feel free to speak.
Yes, I just would like to know the specific organization or specific institute on behalf of Indonesia side to have a cooperative project.
Hello, good evening. Can you hear me? My sound?
Yeah,
I'm so sorry.
I
I need to go out for my meeting, but it's okay. I would like to answer the questions. I know the problem is probably is common happen in Indonesia because bureaucracy. If some countries want to cooperate in some project, but the Ministry of Public Works actually to cooperate with us, you can contact and make some MOU or contract with the Ministry of Public Relations. But the problem in Indonesia for the public ministry cannot be come business to business. So in the future, probably we have the name is where is that? Like a power plant, but it's not totally from. It's not 100% from the Indonesia ministry, because if you want to cooperate with the ministry, is too difficult, because probably we can join. You can join business to business, but we still have the company that 50% of the asset is from ministry and 50% is for business. So maybe you have cooperates just like in Indonesia, its name is PLN, and then Jasa Tirta, if you want to cooperate. And probably after this meeting, I will send you the link of the website, which one is available company to cooperate with HRC. Probably that's this is my simple answer. Probably the Ministry of Works from the other participant can answer perfectly. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much for the very clear answer. As my understanding, I think you mentioned the Ministry of Public Works and Housing of Indonesia. So you mean this ministry, it is the governmental on behalf of the government. So maybe for the ministry, maybe we can cooperate with them regarding the policymaker makes regarding the policy making, regarding the how to say the planning or the standard like that. And for the concrete project
Yes.
cooperation.
Yes, you're correct. Yes, correct.
Yeah, you mentioned the PLN, right? The state, not half state stated the power company in Indonesia. That's PLN, right? So we can cooperate with PLN, who has the power plants, maybe with dams, with reservoirs. So in this case, for business to business cooperation, or even for some project cooperation, we can cooperate with PLN, right? So I think for PLN, there might be a specific department maybe who is responsible for the safety control, for the safety management. So I think this is a very exact department which we can contact them for our follow-ups cooperation.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you very much for the question. I got the answer. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you. If no
Thank
more,
you. I'm so sorry if I have a limitations. I swear. Thank you.
Thank you. That's fine. That's very clear. Thank you.
yeah, thank you, Seto. If no more questions, then we go to the second country report. That's from Iraq. Bisa, would you please share your screen?
Hello, good afternoon, everyone.
Hi.
Our report is about Kurdistan region of Iraq.
Sorry, Bisa, do you want us to play your deck? Because this is a little small. Yeah, we can play it for you and make it bigger.
Okay, yes.
Okay. Yeah, a moment, please. Yes, please just let us know if you want to move to next slide.
Okay. Can I start?
Yes, please.
Kurdistan region of Iraq. But why don't move? Sorry.
So you cannot see the screen?
I see. Kurdistan region, Iraqi Kurdistan of southern Kurdistan refers to the Kurdish populated part of northern Iraq. It's considered one of the 4 parts of Kurdistan in Western Asia, which also includes parts of southwestern Turkey, northern Syria, and northwestern Iran. Geography of Kurdistan. Iraqi Kurdistan is largely mountainous, with the highest point being at 3,611 meters, point known locally as the Sheikh Hadar. Mountains in Iraqi Kurdistan include the Zagros, Sinjar Mountains, Harmi Mountains, Mount Nisir, and Kandil Mountains. There are many rivers running through the region, which is distinguished by its fertile lands, plentiful water, and picturesque nature. The Great Zab and the Little Zab flow east-west in the region. The Tigris River enters Iraqi Kurdistan from Turkish Kurdistan. The mountainous nature of Iraqi Kurdistan, the difference of temperatures in its various parts, and its numerous bodies of water make it a land of agriculture and tourism. The largest lake in the region is Lake Dukan. There are also several smaller lakes, such as Darbandi Khan Lake and Duhok Lake. The western and southern parts of Iraqi Kurdistan are not as mountainous as the east. Instead, it's rolling hills and plains vegetated by sclerophyll scrublet. Climate of Kurdistan. The climate of Kurdistan region is semi-arid continental, very hot and dry in summer, and cold and wet in winter. Spring is the most beautiful season in Kurdistan, and the time when Kurds celebrate Nowruz, the Kurdistan New Year, on the spring or vernal equinox. Economy of Kurdistan. Kurdish culture. Kurdish culture, the group of distinctive cultural traits practiced by Kurdish people. The Kurdish culture is a legacy from the various ancient people who shaped modern Kurdistan and their society. But primarily Iranian, among their neighbors, the Kurdish culture is closer to present Persian culture. For example, they celebrate Nowruz as the New Year, which is celebrated on March 21. It is the first day of the month of Khakalewa in Kurdish calendar, and the first day of spring. Economy of Kurdistan. The province of Duhok, Erbil, and Suleimania are rich in agricultural lands. Wheat and other cereals are grown there. Most of the areas are rain-fed, but there are also some smaller irrigation systems in place. Tourism is another branch which draws the attention of the KRI, which achieved the declaration of Erbil as the tourism capital by Arab Council of Tourism in 2014. Difficulties and barriers in developing dams and hydropower energy. Hydropower requires vast quantities of water from the river and destroys the river ecology. Hydropower plant operation and deforestation are creating conflicts over the water usage. They are destroying livelihoods and they cause the displacement of many communities who traditionally live sustainably beside the river. Downstream people are also face many water-related challenges, and transboundary impacts include flooding, water shortage, and water pollution. Increasing dam construction causes the forced resettlement of thousands of poor ethnic minority people, as well as impacting tens of thousands of people living downstream. There can be frequent and unpredictable floods, for example. When the dam operators release water without prior warning or with insufficient time for people downstream to prepare for a flood or there can be a loss volume and quality of water. Especially some of the results of hydropower dams on river system are when hydropower combines release water stored in dams at time which suits their own operations, without regards for the effect it will have downstream, so that in the rainy season, for instance, it can worsen the flooding. 2. Change river water flow patterns cause erosion of the riverbanks where crops are growing. 3. The downstream river water quality deteriorates. Farmers do not have the water they need for their crops. 5. There is decrease in fish catch, erosion of riverbanks, and impact of riverbank farming, drinking water, and health. 6. Resettled people usually face a more difficult life after resettlement. 7. Poor communities are resettled onto land which does not respond to their traditional farming techniques. They must learn different ways of farming, but this will take time. Or they return to using outmoded and illegal slash and burn agriculture and destroy forests. Alternatively, they may try to return to the areas where they once lived near the dams for the forest exploitation and agriculture, causing many conflicts between resettled people and hydro investors, local authorities, and local people. 8. Most resettled people do not have adequate land for production and are often resettled in areas with poor soil or lacking in water. 9. Forced resettlement puts pressure on all community members and exacerbates many social problems such as domestic violence and broken community structures. And then general conditions of dams and hydropower in Kurdistan. The generated power stands on the available heat and discharge. Most of the dams are considered as small dams in Kurdistan, which has small heat and discharge, which make the generated power become less. This does not fill the cost of construction of power units and turbines. We also have a water problem in Kurdistan that comes to us from neighboring countries, and any bad political situation affects us. And thank you. That's our report.
Thank you. Thank you, Bisa, for your presentation. And we are able to learn some of the situation of the dams and the hydropower in your region. And then I'm not an expert on hydropower or dams, but as far as I know, when a hydropower plant, before a hydropower plant is built, usually an assessment report about its impact to the environment and to the local people can be made to make sure that the impact to the environment and to the local people will be minimum. I think HRC also held training workshops on sustainable development of hydropower, and I think some courses like included in such kind of training course might be helpful to you, to learn more about the sustainable development about hydropower and how to better relocate people like that. And yeah, if for future, in the future, if we have other training workshops that we think will be beneficial to you, we'll also invite you and your colleague to the workshop. And yeah, and if any other participants have anything to comment or have any question, please feel free to raise.
Thank you for your advice. I will actually do this.
Sure. Sure. For other participants, do you have any question or comment? If we don't have any more comments now, yeah, let's start the next one, please. Yeah, Mr. Concept, you can start.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. Hello, everybody. Good evening. Today, my present climate change and climate information service for developing country contain overview on Lao PDR, Lao traditional 3 climate change and its compact national response, technical working group on climate change, key strategic policy, key challenges. Country overview. Lao PDR, Democratic Republic, Lao PDR. Location, Indochina Peninsula in Southern Asia. Population, more than 7 million. Capital Vientiane. Language Lao. Relation Buddhin. Money units give. Main export rice, coffee. topography, Laopedia in the Indochina Peninsula, River Mekong regions, share border with China to the north, Vietnam to the east, Cambodia to the south, Thailand to the west, Myanmar to the northwest. Land area 236,800. East square kilometers. 18% mountain. Two lowest station of Lao PDR is 175 meters and highest is 818 meters. Water, Lao PDR is tropic climate divided into two seasons, rainy season from May to mid-October and dry season from mid-October to April. Temperature less for mini 16 Celsius in July to May 38 Celsius in April. Natural resources, forestry, agricultural land, hydropower, and mineral comprise more than half of the total waste of Lao PDR. The hydropower and mining sector combined account for about 1/3 of the country's economic growth. The growth is that sector has resulted in significant increase its revenue, which has translated into poverty reduction. It has also spurred progressive change in environmental legislation. Teddy Nation Race, Weeding Office, Teddy Fruits, Sticky Rice, Bamboo Shoot, Papaya Salad, Lab. Chemist change in impacts. Lao has been identified is one of the most high vulnerable countries chemical change and low adaptive capacity due is particularly high dependent its climate sensitive natural resources. Lao food and thus other major natural disasters in Laos, particularly on 4 sectors: 1. Agriculture, 2. Water, 3. Forestry, 4. Health. Almost every year, there's a disaster and killers, people lives and damages in infrastructure, if agriculture, transportation, public health, school, house, water, sanitation, and other. National response, coping measure for chemist change in such in Laos. Mitigation 1. Adaptation. DCC 1. Ministry of Agriculture and Forestry. 2. Ministry and Agency and Mining. Ministry of Science and Technology. Ministry of Public Work and Transport. Ministry of Industry and Commercial. Ministry of Public Health. Ministry and Education and Sport. Topic Tricon running. Every 6 hours, emergency running per 24 hours for running per 72 hours for running. Key statistics policy: 1. Agriculture and food security. 2. Forestry and land use chain. 3. Water resources. 4. Energy and transport. 5. Industry. 6. Urban development. 7. Public health. Key selection: more scientific data information system and vulnerability and data collection study. 2. Need for continuous and coordinated support from development partner. 3. Need for major capacity building within the government, the private sector and academic. 4. Access to technical, financial assistance from budgetary institutions is limited. Example: GCS. ขอบใจหลายๆ Thank you very so much. 谢谢大家。
谢谢 Thank you. Thank you for your presentation. And we've learned the climate, the natural resource situation, and the energy situation in your country. Thank you very much for all this very informative information. Know that power helps poverty reduction, and it's great to know that the water resource is one of the top priorities for the Lao government. And I see there is a need for capacity building within government, private sector, and the academia. And I think we can explore opportunities for us for opportunities like training or on-site visit to help with this capacity building, either within the government or private sector or the academia. So yeah, thank you very much.
Thank you.
We look for more opportunities to cooperate. Yeah. Do anyone has any question? Please feel free to raise. Yeah, if we don't have any question, then the next one will be Mauritius. Mr. Gurapa, would you please share your screen?
Good afternoon, everyone.
Hello?
It's free. Hello.
Yeah, please.
Okay. It's okay?
Yes. Do you want to play it? Yeah.
Now.
I think we have the same problem. You cannot see it in the play mode. It's okay. You can just show the edit mode and make it bigger. Make the window bigger. Make the slide bigger. Yeah, it works.
Okay, good afternoon, everyone. It's 3 p.m. here in Mauritius. I will be presenting my country report. First of all, I would like to thank the host organization to organize this resourceful online training in terms of dam monitoring and management. I'll be happy to share the situation in my Mauritius. Okay, I'm Purmanan Gorapa, Senior Engineer at Water Resource Unit under the aegis of Ministry of Energy and Public Utilities. Today's topic, I will show you an overview of Mauritius in terms of demography, social, culture, and economy. How we manage our water resource in Mauritius, our surface water potentials, limitation and constraints, way forward, and some sightseeings in Mauritius. Okay, let us see where Mauritius is located. It's this it's a dock in the southwest of Indian Ocean, between longitude 57 degrees 46 minutes east and latitude 20 degrees 14 south. It's a distance from 2,000 kilometers from the east of Southern Africa and about 8 kilometers from the Republic of Malagasy here. Okay, it's only a dock point in the Indian Ocean. In terms of population, we stood at 1.26 million at the end of June 22. And the urban fraction is only 39.3%. We enjoy a tropical maritime climate with 2 seasons. Summer from November to April and winter from May to October. Summer in our island is the rainier and warmer season during which tropical cyclones occurs. February is the wettest month in the calendar year. Winter is cooler and relatively drier. October is the driest month. In Mauritius, we are multilingual. Most people are fluent in English and French. Asian languages are used mainly in music, religion, and cultural activities. The media and literature are primarily in French. Our population are mainly composed of Hindus, Muslims, Chinese, and general population. And the general population is usually the Christian community. In terms of our economic profile, since independence in 1968, Mauritius has developed from a low-income monocrop sugar-based economy to an upper middle-income diverse economy. We depend on sugar, tourism, textile and apparel, and financial services, but we're expanding into fish processing, information, communication technology, hospitality, and property development. Okay, in terms of water resource management, we have our unit, water resources unit. We do master plan for our resources, hydrological data management, project planning and implementation, advice on water utilization, rehabilitation, and maintenance of water infrastructures, including dam, water rights, water licensing, and EDP enforcement. We have the Central Water Authority responsible for the treatment and supply of water for domestic, commercial, and industrial purposes. We have the Irrigation Authority, which implement and manage irrigation projects, ensure efficient water use for agriculture and other. We have the Wastewater Management Authority responsible for the wastewater sector and to carry out, monitor, and supervise and maintain and manage and control wastewater works. The Central Electricity Board generates power from hydropower, transmission, and distribution. Okay, the rainfall data, as you will see, we have the region west. We have 600 millimeters. It's a region we combine with north where we have less water. We have the Central Plateau, we have 4,000 millimeters here, where most of our reservoir fall in this region. And the East receive water for 1,400 millimeters. Our surface water potentials, we have 11 reservoirs. We have 11 rivers which have a cubic meter. These reservoirs were built in early colony and they are mainly surrounded with earth dams. We have recently built, in 2000, we have built Midlands Dam with concrete dam. And recently we inaugurated Dabakatil Dam, which were built by from 50, where we will improve the water supply all around our country. And the master plan includes 5 or 6 dams to store water more efficiently for our later development. In terms of groundwater, we have classified around 5 aquifers where we drill underground to extract water, and this water represents around 40 to 50% of our consumption. In terms of our water balance, Mauritius area is only 1,865 kilometer square. We have an annual average rainfall 2,000 millimeter, and our annual volume we expect 3,700 million meter cube of water. Out of which evaporation 1,100 is evaporated. Our surface run water 2,230, 60%, and our groundwater resource is 370 million meter cube, 10%, which represent 10% on our water balance. In terms of water utilization, for domestic industrial, we use around 840 million meter cube for our purpose, in terms of domestic, industrial, agriculture, and hydropower, and overall utilization. Domestic represents 1% for the industry, and I have highlighted 37 for agriculture, which is a lot more. It's compared to other. That's why our agriculture, it's a main target to use less water in terms of our water resources. Okay, what constraints we have? We have constraints in our variation in water, in rainfall and distribution pattern throughout the year across the island. At times we can get water where we are not able to collect it. That's why we in the summer season, actually over the festive, we get a shortage of water which we cannot be controlled. That's why I highlighted water shortage from September to December, decrease in average rainfall and increasing demand. Mainly at the end of the year in festive seasons. We have a rapid runoff because of our topography. In fact, we have a central plateau and then it goes down to the sea. That's why we lost so much surface and water. We have a high convenience and distribution losses in irrigation and water supply systems. We have a risk of pollution in industrial and urbanization areas. We have seawater intrusion because of our proximity to sea. all the island is surrounded by sea. We are greatly affected by climate change and over exploitation, and we have a limited financial resources. Okay, we'll see some way forward what our country do. We recycle and reuse wastewater, not for domestic, but for irrigation, for industrial uses. We promote sustainable agricultural growth. We have an irrigation method, as I have highlighted, that water is consumed a lot in our agriculture. That's why we promote an efficient method. We empower individuals. We undertake, we strengthen, and dam construction. We are envisaging dam construction on rivers to implement to increase storage capacity. Some of our measures in our annual budget will encourage farming that uses less water. We will encourage research on to optimize the yield of lands. Okay, we have a poverty rate in our we have a poverty rate of 1% in our country. We have education, free health service, free public transport, and free tertiary studies. The sightseeing in Mauritius, we are famous for our beaches, climate, and mountains. We have a site 7-colored earth in our island. We have some spectacular mountains. Like this image, you will see it's like a lion lying down. And we have a famous Peterborough, where there's a head up around 800 meters high. The capital city of Mauritius is Port Louis. We are famous for hiking and trekking. And we have a park and we have a which okay, I haven't probably.
Yes, please. Rapa, is there any sound to this video? Does the video has the sound, has an audio, has a sound?
Yes.
For me, I cannot hear the video. I cannot hear the voice. Yeah, maybe when you share your screen, you also need to share the sound, the audio.
Okay.
Do you think you can get the audio?
I'm trying.
Sure. If the audio is.
It's good?
No, still no audio. No, but it's okay. Yeah, well, people are, enjoying the video. Let me summarize. And I think it's great to, yeah, I think it's great to know the dam proposal plan to 2050, and explore any potential opportunities to cooperate. And it's great to know that China has been participating in some of the hydropower plant construction in your country. And I do see your point of constraints in terms of climate change and unbalanced distribution of a resource or of water among the year. In some months there is plenty of rainfall, but other months there's not enough. I think HRC provides various training courses on hydropower and water resources, and we do have training courses featuring sustainable development of hydropower and green development, and like a multi-energy complement system, a complementary energy mix between hydropower, solar power, etc. So if we have future training workshops that we think can be helpful to you, we'll let you know. Yeah, and by the way, after not being able to travel for several years due to COVID, it's great to see the blue skies, the beaches, the coconut trees. Thank you so much for sharing this video with us. Does anyone has any question? Thank you, Grandpa, for this nice video. And next we will have Mr. Min Tanjing from Myanmar.
Good evening, madam. Can you hear me?
Yes.
How about my background? Is noisy or not? Because I'm currently at a coffee shop now. I really would like to apologize for that.
No problem. Your
All right.
background is your background is okay.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I would like to share the screen.
Yeah.
Okay. Can you see screen?
Yes.
Okay. First of all, I would like to say thank you very much, HRC, for giving me a chance to present my country reports. This is from Myanmar, and for this slide prepared by my friend Shui and me, and we will present the country reports about Ghana hydropower sustainable development. These are the table of the content where we present with the whole of the presentation slide based on the context, general information of Myanmar and general condition of dam and hydropower sustainable development, hydro issue, problem issue in water resource infrastructure, rule regulation and current practice, and the last one is gas needs and challenges of Myanmar. And these are the general information of Myanmar. You can see in the picture, this is the country of Myanmar. And in terms of geography, Myanmar is located in South Asia. And between 9 degree, 32 minutes and 23 degree and 31 north latitude and 92 degree and 10 minutes to 101 and 10 minutes in east latitude. And the total land area is 376,553 square kilometer, and the forest area is cover more than 40% of national land area. You can imagine this. Myanmar is one of the forest region in South Asia, covered by 40% in the national forest. And the border, you can see in the picture, India, China, Laos, Thailand, and Bangladesh. We are geographically connected each other. So for those countries, we can enter to each country easily by the border. And in terms of topography, we divide as 5 districts in Myanmar: Hill region, Shan Plateau, Central Dry Zone, Delta region, and Coastal region. So for the Hill region, it's located in northern and western part. Shan Plateau is the eastern part, and the Central Dry Zone in the semi-arid region, and Delta region is the area. And Coastal region is 3 parts: Rakhine State, Peninsula State, and Delta region. And for the land is north to the south, approximately 2,051 kilometer, and the land east to the west is approximately 945 kilometer. And the higher level is northern on the north and the incline towards to the south, and the river is follow from the north to the south. In terms of climate change, we have 3 seasons: dry season, wet season, and cold season. And the dry season is from March to May, and the rate of the temperature is depend on the city and depend on the place, around 40 degrees Celsius to 47 degrees Celsius. For the wet season is from June to October, and the south to the west, most on the wind, and data area is from 2,030 millimeter to 3,050 millimeter. The Shan State is 1,520 meter, and the north is from 2,030 millimeter to 3,810 millimeter. And the Rakhine and Peninsula, 5,080 millimeter, and the last one, Central Dry Zone, is 760 millimeter. And the cold season is November to February. The rate of the temperature is depend on the place and depend on the region. It's around 16 degrees Celsius to 10 degrees Celsius. But in the Hill region is one of the most coldest area in Myanmar, is around 4 degrees Celsius. In terms of the population and economy, you can see in the graph, and this graph is South Asia. Myanmar is one of the 5 largest in South Asia, and the population yearly in Myanmar from 2016 to 2022, the growth rate is 0.71 degrees 1% in every year. And in terms of economic indicator for Myanmar, you can see in the graph, this is the GDP rate from Myanmar in 2020 to 2023 focusing. In 2020 is increasing 3.2 degrees Celsius. In 2021, stay in decline due to COVID and political situation. In 2022, we are focusing to increase 2.0 degrees Celsius. In 2023, we mostly focusing to increase more than 2022, 2.6 degrees Celsius. In terms of the inflation rate, Myanmar become one of the increasing inflation rates. You can compare from 2020 to 2020 to 2022. The inflation rate is one of the increasing in Southeast Asia, 16.0 degrees Celsius. So in 2023, we focusing to decline 8.5 degrees Celsius. In terms of the economic opportunity in Myanmar, we have agriculture sector, forestry sector, mining sector, energy sector, and tourism sector. So we invite all the country to invest in this area because Myanmar is one of the potential countries to develop economically opportunity. For the next slide, in terms of the general condition of dam and hydropower sustainable development. I would like to state that irrigation facility of irrigation and water utilization management department. That we have the different type of structure. Then we are solely at the total number we have 581. You can see in the chart this is done that we have already been, and also Powerhouse and Sule, Speedway, and we are. And in 1988 to 1989 that we have covers irrigation 12.5% in South area, and from 2016 to 2019 we have coverage irrigation 19 to 19.8 degrees Celsius in South area. Some of the installed number of hydropower plants you can see in the graph. The ministry, the private sector, and also the foreign development that we have integrated together to bring the hydropower. It's all totally starting of that originally by ministry and also the private sector. The megawatts to 280 megawatts, and the capacity is based on the ministry and also the private sector. The ministry MOE 1951 and also 186, and the integration with MOE and MOAI is the capacity rate is 492, and the private sector is 280, and the foreign developer is 128. You can see in the picture that we have already been in the town in Myanmar. And for the river pumping projects that we have already constructed in the track within the right zone, probably we have over 320 pumping projects and 0.2 million of half irrigation. And the aim of this irrigation is to shrink the GOI and also the electricity. For the groundwater is a priority for our country's domestic use. In terms of the flow protection was investment, we have two types: river flow protection investment and seawater protection investment. And you can see that the landmark is 1,258, and the second one is 1,164. You can see in the picture is one of the longest in the Southeast Asia. And some of the difficulty and barrier, we have a lot of difficulty and barrier in my country that we need to improve. And still we have left out instrument, some meter, CPID monitoring instrument. We still have a weekly civilian report and distraction instruction carried off or done by only visual observation. For the settlement, we still left off the biometric survey. That's why the effect of the biometric survey, we have difficulty to estimate the actual life storage capacity, and also left out focusing and early warning system in East Dam is one of the most important to implement the early warning system in the dam area. And Nagis and O2 big cyclone and cyclone command due to heavy rain in the 1 month flow was equal to the site annually flow and spare volume was more than 2 times of full tank of the capacity. So it's difficult to accept to dam site. It's not possible during the dam, during the raining is the most difficult area to make dam safety. For the next slide, you can see in the picture, these are the normal saturation medium dam. These are the normal one, and also these are the normal one before the cyclone command. After cyclone, you can see in the picture, the medium dam having like this. The flow and the dam course is happening in the morning. And also you can see in the picture from this to this after cyclone command is happen full of the roof above the water. And some of the difficulty and the area in the branch marsh you can see in the picture is the river bend is river bend erosion due to the climate change and also many different reasons. So that we need to protect the band, not only the protect band, but also we need to dig together protection, what for the river band erosion. And also we had a problem along the river side. The poorest people, they are living along the river. So we need to deal with those kind of people to protect our irrigation system. And these are the rule and regulation of irrigation and water utilization management department that we have already in Myanmar. KNS, Investment Act, Irrigation Management Department Instrument, Maintenance and Care Investment Regulation of is done that we have already been. And some of the current projects and emerging action that we have in Myanmar, the Myanmar Irrigation Director and Assistant Director Office are the main office, the main controlling office of the dam safety by following the guidance and regulation of the instrument. So whatever the problem or the condition, we need to report to the main office of the dam safety. And hourly, we also have the watchman or the labor. We have now taken the condition of the dam, and also for the reporting is directly report to the assistant director office by radio, telephone, icon, and the different kind of social media. We have reported the different kind of system, different kind of condition, and daily rainfall are available by the manual from that side. Rainfall saturation. Totally, we have rainfall saturation as that side are nearly 214 saturation have been already installed automatic rain gauge. And the current practice that we need to improve in Myanmar, and we need to check and manage the severe state stories. We respect the region water level and also available rainfall data, not only that side, but also we need the DMA saturation, and also we do a lot of requirement material to and machine to implement the dam safety, and also we need to report step by step to the health office. You can see step by step reporting system. First, we have to report AG office and director office, and into the health of the office. We need to report every condition. So need to report immediately to the local authority and also stakeholder. We need to report. There are the gaps and we just need to and the challenges. The challenges is that we still have limitation of instrument for real-time data, observations of rainfall and water level, and also managing. And also the communication system, we still have all the communication system due to the technology and also the funding of our government organization. And also the information that we still need to require to report time to time to the government and also our publish. And also we still have limitation, digital elevation, model, and high resolution certain elements. Although the challenge is to risk assessment based on the technology due to the lack of technology and also expert and funding. And also we still have requirement, the effective system in monitoring, disaster management, and also disaster related data, and also mechanism to engage multiple stakeholder information and management system. And also we need to improve the short-term and long-term training course regarding the focusing GIS, RS technology, and also risk assessment for assessment disaster management plan that we as my country, Myanmar, we are facing the limitation, information, and also disaster management, and also the providing training short-term and long-term course for the local people, and also the who are working in the Dan area. In terms of the rehabilitation network, we still need to renovate and upgrade existing education kind of system to reach and extend the education area, and also need to renovate and also upgrade the drainage canal and retrofit the appropriate structure. Also need to upgrade the existing solid stage structure. For the dam safety is the most important in Myanmar country. That we still need to upgrade the early warning system and also hydro meteorological instrument, and also need to improve the instrument. Need to install various kind of instrument, such as the different kind of tool and also material to make the dam safety for the people who are working in the dam. And also need to share the information, experience, technical knowledge, how the dam is flow, and also the flow focusing. We need to share and report to the head office. For the land consideration, we need to implement the irrigation and drainage canal, including the canal structure. For the flood protection, we need to restrict them and reselection the existing embranchments concerning with the high flooding. And for the capacity building, we need to strengthen the capacity building training, not only the engineering staff. And also we need to provide the training to the local people and also to who are working in this area. Thank you for all of you for pay attention.
Thank you. Thank you, Jimmy Tan, for very detailed presentation. There are very specific and detailed statistics about the dams and hydropower station situation in your country, and we really appreciate it. This is very important data for us to know the general situation of dams and hydropower industry in your country. And you've also mentioned some of the difficulties and the barriers, either with dams or hydropower plants. I can see, first of all, like lack of dam instrumentation and the lack of, surveillance or inspection system, or let me see, or no real-time information from dam, reservoir, and the weir. I'm not sure if you have got this information from our presentation this afternoon. We had a presentation from from a Nanjing Hydro Technology Company Limited about the dam information system building and application system. So it's a system for to manage the dam safety. It's just for dam safety management. Was very detailed, and I think is comprehensive functions. We will send the PowerPoint deck for you to learn more about the system later. But I think this system might be of interest for you. Just to better manage the dam and to get more real-time data about the dam. And then I also see difficulties regarding like sedimentation. And I think in our past days, we had experts giving lectures on dam safety assessment and management. I do think have any specific question regarding specific case, you are welcome to share it with us. I think we have some very senior experts that can provide some kind of experience sharing or opinion to that. We're happy to help if there is any specific case or project you think we can cooperate. Yeah. And for other participants, have any question, please feel free to raise.
Hello. Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. Thank you very much for the informative presentation, which show us quite a lot information about dam and hydropower reservoir, as well as hydrological data in Myanmar. I think that is quite rich. So actually, I would like to not raise a question, but I would like to have some to share with you some information. So firstly, I would like to say that starting from next week, it's 26th October, we will have another training course on hydrological monitoring and flood management for developing countries. So I think this training course will meet the need and the challenge mentioned just now for the flood forecasting, for the flood forecasting and the prevention, as well as the flow monitoring like that. So I think for this training course, my colleague Andy could share with you the training notice for you. So if you have you're interested in this program, you may contact us for participating in it. Not only you, but also your colleagues or other colleagues from other related departments. Second is about, just now we mentioned the sedimentation. So the reservoir sedimentation assessment. Actually, last year, Nanjing Hydraulic Research Institute would like to apply for a cooperative project with Myanmar on this topic, on this issue. But at that time, we don't have a local, how to say, a site or a specific reservoir which has this problem. At that time, we didn't find such a reservoir, and we don't have a very close partner for cooperate with this project. But from our side, we have some experts who know some information about it in Myanmar, and they think it's possible to develop this cooperation. But at that time, during due to the application period was quite short, so we didn't got cooperative letter from our Myanmar friends. So the project was the project application was failed. But I think for this time, if you have more detailed information in the reservoir sedimentation problem, you may share with us the detailed information. For example, if you have any or some reservoirs face this kind of problem, then we can make the analysis, and we can join the cooperative plan. So for next phase of project application, we can submit our project proposal to both governments. So in that case, I think it is quite possible for us to get some financial support from both governments to finance, to support our cooperation. So that is my what I would like to say. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Madam, for giving me this information. Vietnam and China and also the other country, we hopefully and also we expect to collaborate in the future to make more implement our dam and hydropower.
Yes. Actually, for our country, I think we have many different channels for the project application. For example, we have the Lantau Mekong Water Resources Corporation mechanism. So in with this mechanism, we have the cooperative fund, which we can apply not only from China, but also from your country. I think let's keep contact. I will find the information for you to guide how to apply the project cooperation from Myanmar side. I think we should contact the Chinese embassy in Myanmar. And from our side, it is the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and the Ministry of Water Resources who are responsible for the water related cooperation with foreign countries. So I think we can push forward it from both of our sides.
Thank you, madam.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. No more comments. We will go to our next report. That's Rong Jin from Rwanda. Welcome.
Manuri panhara yumukara.
Hello, everyone. Can you hear me?
Yes, yes, we can.
Okay. Thank you. My name is Dusenjiman Alonje. I'm here to present our country report from Rwanda on behalf of my compatriot. We will have some overview on Rwanda culture, geography, people, culture, history, investment opportunities, and accessibility, as well as energy sector. We are going to share within this time around 7 parts. Rwanda is a landlocked country in Great Rift Valley of Central Africa, where Africa Great Lake region and Southeast Africa covered, and bordered to the north by Uganda, to the east by Tanzania, to the south by Burundi, as well as to the west, Democratic Republic of Congo. By name, Republic of Rwanda have the capital city, which is Kigali. President His Excellency Paul Kagame, Prime Minister Dr. Ngirente Edouard. Rwanda currency is Rwandan francs. Our time zone is +2 on Central Africa time. Mother tongue is Kinyarwanda, as well as we have official languages, which are English, French, and Swahili. By size, Rwanda have the total areas of 26,338 kilometers squared of total areas. By population, we are about 12.9 millions of population, where density is about 445 people per kilometer squared. Rwanda is not quite hot, where temperature is ranged to the lower temperature is 21 up to 27 degrees higher. Life expectancy is 67 years, where GDP per capita is around $787 US. but GDP growth per annum is almost plus 8%. The national flag comprises 3 flowing colors, as you can see here on the graph. We have green, yellow, and blue, where green and yellow, they occupy the half of the flag, and the other half is occupied by the blue. The green signifies hope and prosperity, where yellow stands for growth and development of the nation. The other half of the flag is occupied by blue, which signifies peace and happiness, and bear the sun with its rays, which symbolic of enlightenment of the Rwandese. As you can see here in the middle column, we have the seal of the Republic of Rwanda, which consists of a green ring with a knot on the top and the Republic of Rwanda. Below the knot, we have the national motto, which means unit, work, patriotism. It consists of also the sun and its lies, sorghum and coffee, a small bucket, a blue conjoined wheel, and one sheet on the right-hand side and another on the left-hand side, as you can see here on the graph. Sorry. National anthem. The national anthem is titled Rwanda Nziza, which means beautiful Rwanda. It consists of 4 verses, which generally praise the beauty of Rwanda as the common kind of all Rwandese, and emphasizes the unity and the common characteristics of Rwandans, and also emphasize the Rwandan values as their common heritage and the pillar of national development. Let's talk about geography. As you can see here, the beauty of Rwanda, it has the outstanding geographical, as you can see. Rwanda is also known as the land of 1,000 fields. For those who may plan to advance the beauty of Rwanda, here you may know what you will visit or what you will have, like gorillas, mountains, where we have 5 volcanoes, 23 lakes, mountain gorillas, monkeys, chimpanzees, birds, and numerous rivers. Some of the rivers, they are forming Nile rivers. Rwanda country lies 75 miles south of the equator, 880 miles west of the Indian Ocean, and 1,250 miles east of the Atlantic Ocean. Literally, Rwanda is the heart of Africa, as you can see. The altitude range from the lower point is 950 meters to 4,500 meters above the sea level at the higher point, as you can see. In fact, for the past 28 years, Rwanda has been transformed into one of the continent's most attractive economies, displaying a remarkable record of political stability, sustainability growth, and economic diversity. Rwanda is a relatively young country. Why? 50% of the population is in the 12.9 millions of people is under 20 years old. That's why Rwanda is a relatively young country. With the middle age standing 22.7 years old, Rwandans share cultural values, notably unity, patriotism, social cohesion, resilience, hardworking, among others. With Kinyarwanda being a common language spoken in all parts of the country, we have also other official languages such as English, French, and Swahili. The country's rich culture has become a source of inspiration to craft some of unconventional and homegrown solutions to address the challenges. Those include among Muganda, which means community work where people they meet together and work, and after umuganda they sit and they share some information which will develop themselves. We have also imihigo, which means performance contracts. We have gachacha, which means traditional, and the awunzi means courts. We have also what we call harvest days. Harvest days is umuganula. It means the country's largest festivity where all Rwandans from the different corners of the country meet to celebrate their achievement for the whole year and recommit to achieve more and more. About culture, how about Rwandan culture? Rwanda has music and dance make an integral part of Rwandan ceremonies with mushayayo and Ino dances. I think all of you guys have some idea on these dances and music, mushaya and Ino dances, which won the hearts of culture performance lovers. And Rwanda art craft display a high level of skills and creativity in the country of thousand trees, with agaseche and hand-woven basket having won international acclaim. We have also Imigong pattern and Rwanda's growth fashion industry have also become iconic of Made Rwanda brand initiative. About Rwanda history. For centuries, Rwanda existed as a centralized monarchy under a succession of Tutsi kings from one clan, who led through cattle chiefs, ranch chiefs, military chiefs, and king was supreme, but the rest of population, Bahutu, Batutsi, and Batwa, was lived in a symbolic harmony. In 1899, Rwanda became a German colony, and in 1919, the system of indirect rule continued with Rwanda as a mandatory territory of nation, but under Belgium, not in the same German colony. About investment opportunity and accessibility, as you can see here on the graphs, Rwanda have an array of incentives for investors ready to invest in the country of best prospective sectors, major infrastructure projects, significant government procurements, and business opportunities in a wide range of sectors. How about Rwanda market accessibility? Rwanda market access. Starting a business in Rwanda, you guys, it's quite easy and quick. Why? Because Rwanda is streamlined process due to Rwanda has an access to the regional market of EAC, COMESA, and the Republic Democratic of Congo, where it accesses over 146 million of consumers from East African community, where His Excellency Paul Kagame is the East Africa community chairperson, and it has an access to 460 million of consumers from COMESA, Common Market, Eastern and Southern Africa countries. That means Mr. Melbourne Venkatasamy is the chairperson of the COMESA. So we have also an access to the 35 millions of people from Eastern Republic Democratic Congo market. That means having a business or starting a business in Rwanda is quite easy and quick, because you will have all access of those from abroad and COMESA and EAC consumers. About infrastructures in Rwanda, government has completed the high-profile infrastructure project like Kigali Convention Center and several international business hotels, and has ambitious plan to complete new international airport at Bugesera, where Kigali Innovative City, and also had to finish railways to Tanzania and regional oil pipelines. So It has also main ambition plans to complete. You are almost welcome to have such adventures in Rwanda. Let's talk about agriculture. Agriculture in Rwanda contributes above 62.3% of total employment in Rwanda, which occupying 71% of females employed compared to 53% of males, including coffee washing, roasting, packaging, and increasing production of goods like tomato ketchup, mushrooms, honey, etc. Tea and coffee from Rwanda are now one of the leading among countries exporting products. That means you guys all over the world, you may have, I think you have tea from Rwanda and coffee. If you don't even taste them, you may go to the market and you look for them. It's very delicious. Let's talk about the information technology. Rwanda is one of the fastest growing African countries in ICT with installed over 500 kilometers of fiber optics cable throughout the country, and is one of the few countries with a high speed of 4G LTE wireless broadband network. As you know, China is now operating on 5G, but here in Rwanda and some few countries, we are running on 4G LTE network. Let's talk about energy sector in Rwanda. The government of Rwanda is striving to transition from a developing country to a middle-income country by 2035 initiative. To achieve this goal, the report of August 2022 shows that the government is targeting 100% access of electricity by all Rwandans by the end of 2024, where 70% will be grid connected and 30% through off technologies. The electricity supplies is composed domestic generation and imported electricity from neighbor countries and the regional shared power plants. Let's see on total generation from Rwanda. We have currently by generation technology mix from different power plants. Rwanda have a total installed capacity of 276.068 megawatt, where within 37 hydropower plants are on-grid connected, but 11 are micro-hydro. The 37 is hydropower, but 11 are micro-hydropower off-grid. Among all the installed capacity, 51.3% of the generation are from the thermal sources, where hydro sources occupies 43.9% of the generation. Solar occupied 4.2% of the generation, among other sources with 0.7% of the generation. How about connectivity? Currently, electricity access rate is about 50%, where urban areas, 76% of population are connected to electricity. But rural areas, only 44% of population are connected. We have also ongoing project where we have the Small Falls Hydropower Project, if I may list a few of them, which is planned to generate 80 megawatts, and the output will be equally shared by 3 countries, which are Rwanda, Burundi, and Tanzania. It is under construction by NERISAP. We have also Lucille 3 project. Is planned to generate capacity of 145 megawatts and is expected to end up within the end of 2024. Its construction project is supported by the World Bank, EAU, and among others. We have also Nyawa Long 2 multipurpose project. This multipurpose project is expected to cater for water supply, irrigation, as well as electricity power generation of 43.5 0.5 megawatt. This takes me to the end of my country presentation. On behalf of my countrymen, I highly appreciate HRC for this informative training.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. If you have asked, thank you very much.
Thank
Again.
you. Thank you. Thank you, Rongjin, for your comprehensive introduction about your country and the hydropower industry. And I think we have a question in the chat box. Do you have a water shortage problem or water situation in Rwanda? From Grandpa.
Yes. Can you hear me, please?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yes, in Rwanda, sometimes we have water shortage because we have in the sunny season from August and September, we mostly face the water shortage, but we have the backup dam which are contracted to like storage pump system to use them for that issue to overcome with it. So it doesn't matter because some of hydropower plants, they have the hydro storage pump system to back up with in that period of sun. I hope you get an answer. Thank you.
Yeah, I hope this answers your
More question.
Okay.
Any other question, please?
Yes, any other question, please?
All my countrymen, they may cooperate or involve in giving a constructive answer. If am I wrong, they are welcome to answer you.
Okay. Okay, if no more questions, then we go to Sri Lanka. Mr. Lancis.
Okay, thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Hello.
Yes, please, we can
I think
hear you.
yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you. So good evening, all of you. I'm Rasit Ratnayaka from Sri Lanka. Sri Lanka is well known as the pearl of the Indian Ocean because it has a large number of waterfalls, natural beauty, biodiversity, and wildlife, number of natural beaches, as well as not only that, more than 3,000 years of written history. So this is the outline of my presentation today. I will basically go through the overview of Sri Lanka under these subtopics and the hydropower development of Sri Lanka under these subtopics within my allotted time period. First, the overview of Sri Lanka. Sri Lanka, the full name is Democratic Socialist Republic of Sri Lanka. And this is the national flag of my country. The capital, legislative city is Sri Jawadanapura Kotte, and the famous financial city is Colombo, located here. The area of Sri Lanka is more than 65,000 square kilometers. For the administrative purposes, it has divided into 9 provinces and 25 districts. The population of my country is around 22 million people. Official languages are Sinhala and Tamil. And again, as I said earlier, we have more than 3,000 years of written history. The geography of Sri Lanka, it is an island in South Asia. You can see here, situated between the northern latitudes 5 and 10 and the eastern longitudes 79 and 82. It is a rich water resources available in Sri Lanka. There are 103 rivers flowing almost all area in the country. Longest river is the Mahaveli River. It's extended around 335 kilometers. Apart from that, there are 45 estuaries and 40 lagoons. Since this is the island nation, we have more than 1,500 long coastline, and it's rich in minerals such as ilmenite, feldspar, graphite, silica, mica, etc. And also Sri Lanka claims an exclusive economic zone in Indian Ocean extending 200 nautical miles, which is approximately 6.7 times Sri Lanka's land area. As I said earlier, the population is around 22 million. Official languages are Sinhala and Tamil. There are several ethnic groups. Major ethnic group is Sinhalese. They are more than 75% of the total population. Other groups are Sinhala, Sri Lankan Tamils, Sri Lankan Moors, Indian Tamils, and other groups. The major religions of Sri Lanka is the Buddhism. More than 70% of the peoples are Buddhist. Other religions are Hindu, Islamic, and Christianity. Let's consider about the climate and topography of Sri Lanka. Climate is tropical and warm because of the moderate effects of ocean winds. This is the topographical map of Sri Lanka. The central part of the southern half of the island is mountainous with heights more than 2.5 kilometers compared to the mean sea level. The core regions of the central highlands contain many complex topographical features. You can see, such as ridges, peaks, basins, valleys, likewise. The remainder of the island is practically flat, except for several small hills that rise abruptly in lowlands here. The temperature, the mean annual temperature varies from 27 centigrade in the coastal lowlands and to 16 centigrade at Nuwara in the central highland, which is more than 1,900 meters above from mean sea level. This relative unique feature manifesting as sunny beaches to rainforest inland is helpful for tourist attraction. The rainfall in Sri Lanka has multiple origins. Monsoonal, convectional, and depressional rain accounts for major shares of the annual rainfall. This is the annual rainfall variation in Sri Lanka. The mean annual rainfall varies from under 900 millimeter in the driest part, southeastern and northwestern area, to over 5,000 millimeter in the wettest parts, western slopes of the central highland. Economy. When we consider about the economy, Sri Lanka's most widely known export brand is Ceylon tea. ISO considered the cleanest tea in the world in terms of precise residence. And also, the Sri Lanka is the world's second largest exporter of tea behind China, as I guess. Other main economic sectors are the tourism, one of the best tourism destinations over the last few years, and the textile industry, the clothing industry, rubber and rubber articles, and also the agricultural products like rice, coffee, spices, and gems, precise metals, fish, miscellaneous food preparations are the main economical sectors contribute for the economy of Sri Lanka. China, India, and the US are the largest trading partners of our country. we are considered as a developing nation. Its per capita GDP is around US dollars 3,842 in 2021. It's compared to the second highest per capita income in South Asia. However, at present these days, we are facing some kind of economic crisis, and it has resulted in the collapse of the currency and rising inflation. But as a Sri Lankan, we believe we can eradicate this soon. Now I will move to the second part of my presentation, hydropower development in Sri Lanka. First of all, I will brief the history of dam engineering in Sri Lanka. Sri Lankan irrigation system of ancient irrigation system of Sri Lanka consists of large number of village reservoirs and networks of water canals connecting these tanks while supplying water to farming lands. At present, about 30,000 reservoirs in Sri Lanka, which the majority was built from 3rd century BC to the 12th century. As I mentioned you earlier, the first large reservoir to be built in recorded history is Abhayavawa in 3rd century BC. In 3rd century BC. This is Abhayavawa, you can see, situated in the ancient city, Anuradhapura. Around the 12th century AD, about 400 dams were built by an egotistical Sinhalese ruler, King Parakram Bahu. This is his statue located near to another reservoir in Polonnaru area. His famous quote is, "Not even a little water that comes from the rain must not flow into the ocean without being made useful to man." Now I move to the power generation statistics in Sri Lanka. These are the summarized installed capacity. The total installed capacity is around 4,200 megawatts. The total installed hydropower capacity in Sri Lanka is around 1,797 megawatts. It's contributed from the major hydros, 7 number of major hydropower plants from 103,000 megawatts, and another mini hydros which are 10 megawatts or below, more than 200 power stations. It contributes 414 megawatts in 2021. According to that statistics, the total installed capacity, the contribution from hydropower is 42.9 from the total installed capacity in Sri Lanka. So annual energy generation in Sri Lanka in 2021 was around 16,700 gigawatt hours. And in that year, the total hydropower generation was around 7,200 gigawatt hours. It was around 43% of total energy generation in Sri Lanka. Normally, it's fluctuate within 30 to 40%. Then you can figure out that how the hydropower generation is important for a power energy generation in Sri Lanka. There are 3 major river basins for large-scale hydropower developments. One is the Mahaweli River Basin here, and the second one is the Kalani River Basin, and another one is Walawai River Basin. I will brief little bit about these river basins. Mahaweli River Basins, as I mentioned earlier, Mahaweli River is the longest river in Sri Lanka. Mahaweli Development Project, the largest multi-purpose national development project in the history of Sri Lanka, started in 1964. It has number of cascaded type reservoirs and power stations. At present, the total installed capacity is around 816 megawatts in this cascade. The major reservoirs are the Victoria Reservoir, 2,210 megawatts. This is Victoria. And the Randenigala Reservoir, it's around 122 megawatts. This is the Randenigala Reservoir. And apart from that, there are number of reservoirs, Upper Kothmale 150, Kothmale 200, Rantambe, both and Ukula Moragak, and the likewise. The The second river basin I mentioned was the Kalani River basin. This is the cascaded arrangement of Kalani River basins. There were two tributaries called Kehelgamuwa and Maskelioe. This Kehelgamuwa and Maskelioe development project is the first hydropower development project in Sri Lanka, which was started in 1950, now almost 70 years. The total installed capacity of this Kalani River basin is around 350 megawatts. There are 6 reservoirs at present: Mausakale, Kasalri, Lakshapana Canyon, Morton and Broadlands. This is the Kasalri reservoir, and this is the Mausakale reservoir. Other river basins were Walaway and the Kalu river basins. The total installed capacity of the other river basins are around 212 megawatts. The major reservoirs are Samanalawa, 120 megawatts, the Kukuleganga, 75 megawatts. Others are the Udawala and Iginiagara. This is the photograph of the Samanalawa reservoir, one of the largest reservoirs in Sri Lanka. So these are the hydropower projects which are under implementation at present. At present, there are two projects, ongoing construction projects in Sri Lanka. The first one is the Umaoya multi-purpose scheme. It's around 120 megawatts project. Then the second one is the Moragolla hydropower project. It's 30 megawatt hydropower project. At present, it has identified that as the future new development projects as Ginga hydropower projects and the Sitawakaganga hydropower projects. At present, there are no pump storage options in Sri Lanka, but again, the pump storage options is under investigation, which is Victoria and Randanigala pump storage. If it is implemented, it will be more than 600 megawatt project. And another opportunity to future expansion of existing schemes, the Victoria expansion, Samanalawa expansion, and Kothmale expansions are already identified as the possible expansion projects. Apart from these major hydropower projects, there are opportunity for Sri Lankans to implement the small hydropower development projects as well. So that's what I want to share with you, and thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Lasis, for your very comprehensive and detailed explanation about your country and hydropower industry in your country. And it's great for me to know that the first large reservoir built in your history is in 3rd century BC. That's very ancient, and it has a very long history of dam building. And this is a great information to know. For other participants, do you have any question? Yes, please feel free to raise if you have any comments or questions. Yeah, it's great presentation, and I'm sorry we're a little running late, so we'll just speed up our pace. We have one last presentation from Vietnam, so let's invite participants from Vietnam, Dao Van Ham, to give the country report.
Okay, thank you. Hey, 大家晚上好。
晚上好。
等一下吧，我再看。
Yeah, do you want to share your screen?
等等。
好的。
你们看到吗？
可以。看到。
你们看到了没？
看到了。
OK，好的，谢谢。首先呢，我代表越南，首先非常感谢你们举行这个会议，感谢水户大坝与能力建筑培养办给我们那个机会交流。我现在在这边就想介绍个越南的情况。这边呢，我代表3个人，就是我们在水利大学，越南水利大学 Thủy lợi University。我想介绍一下，我以前在河海大学读博士的，还有这个洪云也是女士，也是在河海大学读博士。现在我们在水利大学，就在
Not in English.
Yeah, yeah. Sorry, can you speak in English? Because all the other participants will be understand.
Yes.
Thank you.
Vũ Văn Kiên, Thủy lợi University, Southern Campus. Content: Vietnam future. Hydropower system of Vietnam. 你们可以看这边就是有英语的呢，对吧？然后我说你们看在上面你们看到吧？
我们可以看到，但是其他学员不懂英语，所以他们得听英文。不懂中文，所以他们得听英文。
是吗？
对，谢谢。
这边就是想等一下吧。
对，中文讲得非常好，但是我们其他学员听不懂中文，所以还是得麻烦用英文讲。Yeah. Hello.
Wait a moment.
Okay.
Okay, good evening, everyone. I will continue to introduce about the Vietnamese presentation. Is okay? Yeah.
Yes, thank you.
Okay. Just Vietnamese presentation we divide into the 4 parts. The first, introduce about the Vietnamese country. The second, the hydropower system of Vietnam. And third is a natural disaster in Vietnam. And finally, we will introduce about the technology for calculating the structure dam in Vietnam. Do you know Vietnam is a tropical country with 4 seasons, and you can see many beautiful places, such as one of the 7 wonders in the world is the Ha Long Bay. You can see in the picture, and welcome all of you to visit Vietnam in the near future. And you can see the national flag of Vietnam. And national flower, traditional dress, and finally is a Vietnamese cuisine with pho, noodle, and roll spring. And I really hope in the future when welcome all the friends in all the world to visit my country. just tell about the 3 largest hydropower station project of Vietnam. Do you know the first is Sơn La hydropower. The second one is Hòa Bình hydropower, and the third is Lai Châu hydropower. And hydropower is the main source of electricity energy in Vietnam. You can see in the chart, the hydropower related about more than 70% to support the main source of electricity energy of Vietnam. And belonging with the hydropower, we also have a coal-fired gas turbine, renewable oil, fry, and in front. And we hope that behind the hydropower, we also to have to another energy to become the source of electricity energy in Vietnam. Let's talk about the nature disaster in Vietnam. We would like to introduce about the tropical storm, the flood, flash flood, drought, and wild wind. And step by step, we will introduce for you about the first one, the trend of global weather and climate result in increment of nature disaster. The nature disaster in Vietnam include tropical storm, flood, and flash flood, drought, wild wind, causing loss of human life and material. You can see in the chart and the increasing of tropical, the killing, missing, injury, total damage on Vietnam. So the percentage to show that now increasing is the tropical cyclones in Vietnam. The tropical storm. The data show that in the South China Sea, the former is the Northwest Pacific. The rest were organized in the South China Sea, average 10.24 tropical storm and 2.24 tropical depression. From June to November, with a maximum in August and September is always happen storm in Vietnam. Next, the activity reason, some reason always to happen storm in Vietnam, such as the middle and the south of Vietnam. The typhoon usually was originated from the Northwest Pacific. In the South China Sea, less strong, have an unusual track. Vietnam is affected by the storm every year. So you can see in the table the frequency of tropical storm in the South China Sea. And here it is some figure to show the average track in the data is shown from 40 years and all the way happened in June. Next is the average track in July. And next, you can see the average track is October, November, and December also have some storm. And some figure you can see here is some special storm is happening. Yeah. It's all the way to happen from the sea and to storm sugar to attack to the beach, sea beach of Vietnam. Okay, let's talk about the flood. The flood season depends on the rainy season. That you know, I just introduced for you about Vietnam. Vietnam have a 4 season, dry season, and we can divide into the dry season and rainy season. That's why the flood all the way to happen on the rainy season. And you can see the north part of Vietnam and Thanh Hóa province. The flood season all the way happen from June to October, from south of Thanh Hóa province to Hà Tĩnh province. The flood season all the way happen from June to November. However, from Quảng Bình to Ninh Thuận province, flood season happened from September to December, and finally south part of Vietnam and Tây Nguyên region, the flood season happened in July to November. So the flow distribution is not homogeneous in flood season and usually accounts for 20 to 30% per year's average flow. The flood usually occurs in June to August for the north and September to October in the south part of Vietnam. The flood incentive may reach 2 or 5 meters per age in the mountain area and 5 to 20 centimeters per age for downstream area. Flat altitude may reach from 10 to 20 meters, some places up to 30 meters, such as Lai Châu province of Vietnam in the mountain region, 3 to 8 meters in plain area. Just continue to talk about the flood. The inundation usually proceeds from several days in the north and for several months in the Mekong River Delta with inundation depth of about 2 up to 4 meters. Floods are extremely dangerous when their combination with the typhoon, storm, sugar, heavy rain, and tide. So I can analyze into 4 types of flood reasons are Red River Delta, Mekong River Delta, the third, the central part, and finally the mountain and Tây Nguyên region. So you can see the tropical cyclone cause flood and inundation. So many dangerous parts happen with the citizens live in this region. Next, I will tell you about the flash flood, have a tendency to increase in the frequency as well as intensity in recent years. Studies show that most of flash flood occurred in the mountains region with a bathing slope of 30% and small vegetation coverage under 10%. Some flash flood occurs due to the human activity producing landslide as a result block the flow. And you can see the flash flow at Da Nang is very near time. It have just happened on October of 2022. And you can see the dam happened with the citizen. They lose the house, the children can go to the school, and the collapse. Let's talk about the drought. You can see Vietnamese have 4 seasons and divides into the dry season and rainy season. If in the rainy season we have a flood on the dry season occurs every year in different sea area, causing several demand to agriculture. Finally, I talked about the wild winds may occur in autonomous province. High frequency in the mountain area may occur from February to November, but the maximum frequency in March, April, and May. House will collapse by wild wind, and you can see in the picture. So finally, let's talk about the technology for calculation the structure of dam in Vietnam. You know you can see in the picture now in the Vietnam we have application many special model to calculation or the design the dam, such as in the picture you can see is the Art Dam. It's a really famous dam in Vietnam. The dam is built on 2018, and we using the analyze calculation by the ANSYS model. By the lecture of we can see they can introduce for us many types of model that were built by code, but in Vietnamese we always using the commercial software such as the ANSYS, Adina to analyze the design and checking the structure for the dam. And you can see that some result just we analyze this for the dam. Yeah, as another project I want to introduce for you is the Sử Phan. The structure is built on 2018, and we also to use ANSYS, the ANSYS to analyze and model this project. Yeah, it's not normal. Only project we can analyze the interaction between the structure and the foundation by the ANSYS. Yeah. So as you can see now in Vietnam, we can application for the calculator such as the structure of dam by the many commercial software. And I hope that in the future, with the cooperation between many countries in all the world and the half of the power of China, we can have in the future offline to training to help us to have some how to say we can have a good cooperation and to have solve this problem due to the sea level rise and climate change. Thank you so much for your attention.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you for your introduction about Vietnam, the general situation, and the climate, the climate in Vietnam, and the disasters related to the climate, as well as the situation and introduction on the dams. We're sorry to hear about the floods. But you know, hydropower is one way to utilize water for power generation, and we hope that you know in the future the flood can be utilized for power generation to make economic benefit instead of causing damages. And then this is our last presentation, and we really appreciate all the participants for making this presentation in a very short notice and within very limited time. Yeah, and then if you have any questions or comments, please feel free to raise. Is this
Hello, Miss Yu, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes. At the end of today's session, I would like to say thanks to all the participants and for your high concern to the preparations, very well preparations of all the country reports to share with us all the different information, not only for reservoir and dam safety management and the hydropower sustainable development, but also related to the water integrated management, as well as the renewable energy development in different countries. So we appreciate it very much for your kind preparations for all the exchange session. And thanks also goes to Ms. Yu, the chairman of this session. So we have I think almost near 3 hours for all the presentations, goes very smoothly. And right now at the end of the exchange session, I would like to say that all your presentations will be delivered to our experts, and we're going to have a further deep study studies on all your presentations and to develop the cooperation potential and to find the different ways to cooperate with different countries. So I think the country report session is quite valuable for all of us. And thank you all. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Ms. Shi. We do hope we can have a future project for cooperation coming from, rising from this country report. And then this is the end of the country report today. And tomorrow we have one last lecture. And then after the lecture, we will have the closing ceremony that will start at 5:10 p.m. China time, 10 minutes after the lecture. So you're all very welcome to join this closing ceremony. And in this closing ceremony, certificate will be issued. And so please do come join this ceremony. And then this is the end of today's session. Thank you all very much for, preparing the country report, and thank you for your patience during this session, and wish you a very good night, very good the rest of the day, and see you tomorrow.
See you. Bye bye.
Thank you.
Bye bye.
See you tomorrow.
明天
Okay,
见，
see you tomorrow.
明天
See you
见，
tomorrow.
拜拜。
Recording stopped.